But today I want to talk about the most important thing for new guys when you're getting into building a business, when you're getting into this online money world, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to do, freelance, build an agency, drop ship, build a brand. It gets overlooked. It doesn't seem that important at the start, but it's probably the thing that could accelerate your path forward most. Because I've been talking to a few people and like everyone everyone thinks that okay, like I need to do outreach to get clients, and you do, or like I need to. What are the tricks? What is the trick to running ads? And you need to run ads if you're doing ecom. But the thing most people don't talk about or learn about, and I used to roll my eyes at this, is networking and building your network, building connections, building friendships. It really is just friendships with people who are doing similar things. And this just opens so many doors and puts everything on easy mode. And I wish I'd started doing it sooner. And I'm trying to make a priority of doing it more now because it's brought so much into my life. It's brought so much richness and opportunity and growth and honestly just money because now if I have questions, like I can ask people. I can ask people about ads. I can ask people about email. If I DM them on Twitter, there's a good chance they'll DM me back and be like, yeah, I'll get on a call with you. And at the start, this is tough because you don't have too much going for you. And you're gonna want to be needy. And this is probably the number one thing that is hard to get over at the start is that being needy. Like no one wants to talk to a needy person. No one wants to talk to someone who only wants to sell you their lead generation service or who just wants to like ram that down your throat. And I was that person. I used to be that needy person who was like, I just want to write emails for you. And it's like, it's just people sense that. People feel that stuff and then they don't want to be around you. So you got to slowly start curating an attitude of definitely connecting with people. Still do your outreach. I'm not saying like stop doing those things, but in a way that's not needy. Like I don't need this, but here's some stuff for you. Here's some free emails I wrote for you. Take them or leave them. Here's this. Here's that. Love what you're doing. Like expecting nothing almost. You got to just like expect nothing and be a likable person and be a helpful person and show up. And this is huge. It really is. And it once again, it doesn't seem that important because it takes some time for this to quotes like work. Just like people use the dating example or they use just like being at a party, like you don't just jump in and get weird in conversations right away. I mean, like you can, but typically there's a bit of a building rapport. Like you need to slowly build rapport in a way that people trust you, and trust is just huge. Likability is huge. Character is huge, and so if you have slowly become the person who's like, oh yeah, that guy's just always pitching. Like nobody will want to be around you. You might even get to 10 or 20K a month, but after that, it's like, yeah, just don't answer that guy's DMs or like. No one will retweet your stuff. No one will share your stuff. Like you will become like a leper. And I honestly don't know some of these businesses on Twitter. Like it's great if they just need to make their 10 or 20K a month and they're done. But I literally, the DMs are crazy. And you probably get these too where you just see the people doing the same thing. LinkedIn lead generation. Hey Ben, what if I could offer you these? Or hey Ben, I saw you're into brand building. Can I get you leads on LinkedIn? Just so out of touch. Like I'm never going to get on a call with these people. I'm probably never going to become friends with these people. But the people who do get my attention are the people with some character, who are having some fun, who are tweeting about what they're doing, who are likable. Like likability, and this does tie back to marketing, and I've talked about this before, is like the biggest factor. If people like your stuff, they'll buy it. If people like you, they'll buy into you. And it's overlooked. And you can start so small. I mean, you can start. It's a good reminder for me. I was just listening to a podcast about from the Charisma on Command dude, talking about just ways in conversations, and I can get lazy about not being likable, not being interesting in a day-to-day situation, and then being like, gosh, like I want to be better at speaking. I want to be better at and talking to people and building relationships and all this stuff, but it's like, oh, I'm just not kind of trying, I'm not putting in the work. And when it comes to something like Twitter, which you should be on Twitter, if you're not, I'll drop my Twitter guide down there. It's just some people to follow, get you in the right like sphere, to get you in the money Twitter domain. But you need to just have fun. I was like, how do you grow? And it's like, okay, do a bunch of comments, and it's like, okay, that does kind of work, but you also need to start having fun with it. Until you start having fun with it, until you start to realize that these are people you don't just want to use to pitch them on an email welcome series, that you actually want to chat with them, you want to get to know them, you want to build a relationship. That opens doors that are crazy. And this it can happen in small ways at first, and then if you do this for a year and a half, your life will totally change. You'll have new friends, you'll have new opportunities, you will make way more money, and it'll honestly blow up your life. And don't be afraid to spend money on this. If someone you like is putting on a mastermind, or there's a course or a community or an in-person event, go spend some money. This conference where I met this dude James, who told me to start running ads sooner than I was going to, and ended up, he gave me a little like, he did a free call with me. Like, I met him at this conference. I maxed out my credit card. I kept trying to buy the ticket. It was $4K. It's called the Capitalism Conference, and it is again this year in April. I don't know if I'm going this year, but you should go. You should go if you want to build a brand. It's like $4K. It's not cheap at all. $4K American. It's crazy. But I was maxing out my credit card to go there. Met this dude. Heard the co-CEO of Black Rifle Coffee speak. Changed my life like more than I can even say. I didn't have the money to do that. The deadline was approaching, and I was like, I know I need to be around people. I don't care what it costs. I need to be around people who are bringing this energy. And you can do this on Twitter for free. You can do this in communities for free, but slowly you need to invest in what is important to you. And if you keep not doing that, it's going to be like if you're in a relationship and all you want is that person to do stuff for you, but you never do anything. They're going to be like, get the fuck out. Like, I don't want this. This is not growing. And so if you're not growing, and this kind of goes for like everything. If you're not growing, if you're not getting the results you want, like, you're probably not showing up as a person who can get those results. You're not becoming the person who could have success. And if someone gave you success, you would just fuck it up in a month anyways, because you need to change your mindset around becoming the person that people want to be around. And I know what it's like to come from like a loser mindset. I battled that. I was stuck in that. It blows. But you need to slowly switch out of a mindset of where you don't have something to offer to where you respect yourself and the value that you bring. And even before you have all the skills, even before you have a track record of I have a 7-figure brand, or I've spent $1 million on Facebook ads, or I generated $5 million with email. Even before you had that, I remember being there and not having those things. And unfortunately, like, although evidence is huge, like, I remember kind of not thinking I had something to offer until I had those results. And that was a bit of a mistake, because just by being more charismatic, by being more fun, by being more helpful, you can accelerate that. And that's kind of what I slowly started to learn. And then I ended up getting, all those results and having a pretty sick resume that I don't really need, but it's just there. You slowly become that person who other people want to be around. You slowly develop a community, you build trust. Then clients like fall into your lap. People will, like, you won't even need the clients at that point, because you'll be valuable enough that, like, you're not needy. You're actually not needy at all anymore. And then people are like, hey, can you do this? And it's like, honestly, like, sure, I'd love to. Or like jobs, opportunities, stuff will start falling into your lap. And that's so hard to experience, to sense at the start. But I used to watch like Dan Koh's videos about networking and non-needy networking. And I never really used his like strategy, but I remember thinking like, oh, this sounds like, no, it can't be that. Like, it can't be making friends. And it really just is. Like, build connections, get on calls, get on Twitter, be helpful, be fun, get on calls, whatever you're trying to do, and you will build your network. Now, I'm not saying don't do your outreach or grind or build build your brand or make your product. Like, do all that stuff too, but do this alongside it. And in 6 months, maybe even shorter, but 6 months to a year, this will totally change your life. I think that's the video. If you want to hang out with me and see my tweets, follow me on Twitter. I'll link myself below too. And I think that's the vid. Keep it up. Peace.